Hi, my name is Jeff King from Shawnee, Kansas. And Garage Squad, I need your help. I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to lay this out here for you. Hopefully you can help me. Little background on myself. As I said, my name is Jeff King. I'm 47 years old. I'm from Shawnee, Kansas, suburb just outside of Kansas City. And I also have lived in Nashville, Tennessee for a while as well. But, a little bit of background on me. I got into cars because of my dad. He was passionate about them, and he passed that on to me. And I actually have built many vehicles from. I did a Jeep. I did a lot of old Mopars, Darts, a 344 speed car. Trying to think of some of the others, a Camaro Z28. You name it. There's been a lot over the years that I've done. However, I lost my dad 7 years ago, or a little over 7 years ago, and it was devastating. They always say that it gets easier with time, but it really doesn't. But we even worked on cars and built them together. Used to go to car shows and stuff like that, and so he did really feel my passion for automotive, and he was really probably the proudest I've ever seen him when I went to work for ATI, Accessible Technologies Pro Charger, here in Lenexa, Kansas, and that was actually, he was enjoying that one. But anyway, when I lost my dad, I kind of lost my flavor for cars for a good while, and I didn't want to have anything to do with them because it was too raw. But eventually, I found a vehicle that piqued my curiosity and kind of reignited it. But in the meantime, what had happened shortly after my dad passed away, and shortly after my 40th, or actually literally the week of my 40th birthday, I came down with an illness, and basically it's kind of difficult to describe, but basically my life took a left turn health-wise, and for the next 3 years, just completely downhill. I was not able to work. Basically, I ended up going on disability. It took 3 years to find out what I even had, the condition that I have. It's a condition called MECFS. It's called myalgic encephalomyelitis, and the CFS part of it is chronic fatigue syndrome, and debilitating fatigue. It's a multi-system disease, basically. I was exposed to a virus at some point, and my body's reaction to it is abnormal. There are a fair amount of people that do end up having this, but it's been a difficult disease because doctors aren't even really aware of it. A lot of them aren't really aware of it. They more treated it like it was a mental thing, which there is a whole mental aspect to it. But anyway, basically after 3 years and frustration and just not knowing what to do, my mother and I went to Mayo Clinic out in Arizona and received a diagnosis. And the good news was I had something that I could call it an enemy, if you will. The bad news is that there's no cure, there's no real treatment plans to speak of, and the it's a very difficult disease to describe because it is completely 100% wrecked my life. I've been unable to work since then. In fact, the fatigue part of it is a huge thing. It just keeps me down. I never know from one day to the next whether I'm going to be able to get out of bed. There's a lot of people actually with this disease. I wouldn't say a lot. There's a fair amount that are much more severe than my case is even. Those people are bedridden. And unable to speak, unable to stand in some cases. Just feel, I can't imagine, the way my life has just been completely wrecked. But it has most certainly, I never saw it coming, never thought that, but it's like I decided, at one point, my functionality has continued to go down, and I've been on disability now for 7 years. And part of the part of this memory, I'm actually a pretty intelligent person, but at times when this is going on, I get brain fog, and this isn't brain fog, but brain fog is, you hear me speaking, the way I'm speaking right now. And, I'm an intelligent guy, I can communicate. And when the brain fog is there, I can't basically come up with the words to complete a sentence. I mean, I sound like, somebody who's got real mental problems. But in comparing my severity, I'm about 90% homebound. I do get out a little bit, a very little bit. And basically the way this disease works is if you exercise or exert yourself, you actually end up making the whole thing worse. So there's a threshold in that, and again, like I said, there's more than you probably even want to know at this point. So I'll move on. But basically, I've tried to I've had to adapt. Everything that I knew is gone. Everything that I was passionate about is out of reach for me anymore. The building vehicles and that. The vehicle that I'm speaking about, the one I need your help with, is a 1970 GMC pickup truck, fleet side pickup truck. It's something that I acquired from my uncle, who lived in Arkansas, and he used to have a lot of those vehicles, and I always liked him, and my dad always liked him, and I could almost see my dad saying, hey, let's do the truck, let's do one of these trucks, and that was kind of the motivation behind it. But like a lot of things, now in my current situation, it's out of reach. Like my mind tells me I can do things. My mind says, oh yeah, sure, we can knock this out, no problem. But then my body it just doesn't comply. And so I find myself basically, I don't know, biting off more than I can chew a lot of times. This truck is in really good condition for a vehicle its age. There's no major rust or anything like that. It's been kept indoors. It does need some work, but as you'll be able to see in the photos, and I'll include some photos of some of my other project vehicles so you can kind of get an idea of what cars mean to me. And it's just, I feel like, I feel like I almost need to get this completed for my dad, and part of the thing is that I actually don't even currently have a vehicle. I gave my vehicle away to my brother and his family because they had a need for it, and there's times that I don't allow myself to drive, a fair amount of times, but I really want to, get this truck done to be able to maybe take it to a cruise night or something like that every once in a while. Get some sense of normalcy back. Yeah, I don't know. I currently I roommate or live with my mother, who's elderly, and she's got issues. I've got issues. We kind of, in one way or another, we take care of each other. Because when you have a situation like mine, like you can see again how I'm interacting with the video. I seem normal. I seem like there's nothing there, but then the opposite is so far away from that I really don't have very many friends anymore, because they didn't know how to process it or handle it. And when your life stops and everybody else's life keeps going, then there's you just lose touch. So this disease totally makes you feel like you're stuck on an island without anybody. Even my mom, bless her heart, she does great, but and she was shocked once we actually moved in together to see actually what my day-to-day was like. But I don't know. I really I realize there's no way. I can't pick up the phone and call some buddies and say, hey, let's work on this thing. I can't even promise you how much I'll be able to help, but I can tell you this much: I don't care that the physical will lay me out for a week or a couple of weeks or whatever. I will do that. I will push myself through that. It's worth that much to me. And I mean, I love your show. I love how you can tell that you're all real passionate about what you do, and there's more than once that I'm sitting here watching the show, bawling. Not very manly of me to admit, but I mean, there's again, I can tell you guys care. It's huge. And I thought maybe there might be some speck of hope that being that you guys were located in Chicago, that you are based out of Chicago, that you might be willing to get down to Kansas City. And I mean, if you could, I mean, it would absolutely, it would give me something to live for, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm not. I'm okay with my existence. I don't like it, and that. But I'm not saying that I'm going to do anything crazy or anything like that. Not at all. But it would give me something to look forward to, something to get excited about, something to when I do have the physical ability to take and go out and feel like I'm a part of something again. Because right now, my mom and I, we've got each other, and that's pretty much it, and no offense, but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I bore her with that she doesn't really care about, and vice versa. There's probably some things there. In fact, right now, as I speak, I'm recording this. It's actually the middle of the night, because my sleep is one of the things that gets all messed up, is insomnia or sleeping too much. And as I record this, my mom was just admitted to the hospital last night, so I'm a little I haven't been able to I guess settle down from that, because it's just, it's a little it's a little emotional, and it just I thank God that she's here, and I just can't. I know she's older, and inevitable what's gonna eventually happen, but I don't know. Anyway, great. What a great video, right? I don't know. I would think if you did ask people that know me about me, that they would say that I'm a really generous person, that I'm a pretty good guy. I haven't been able to be as good of a guy with, in the last 7 years, because I don't even live a life that's, I don't even have a full life myself. And in that case, it's hard to get past that, but I still, still try to do what I can when I can. And, of course, existing on disability is, a challenge in and of itself. So, I mean, the other challenge I have is that, of a financial nature. And I actually the truck had been being stored at my uncle's down in Arkansas, and he just passed away on the 5th of January. So I had to go down earlier this week and pick up the truck and bring it up here. But anyway, like I said, I hope I didn't bore you. I appreciate it if you've watched this long. God bless you. If there's any more additional information, I can certainly, I'm happy to do so. I don't have a problem being on camera. I've done that in the past. I mean, it would just be, I don't know what else. I mean, if you guys, which I know it's like a lottery chance, winning the lottery, but if you guys were to select me to do this, I mean, it just would, I really don't see how I'm gonna be able to do the truck otherwise. I mean, I think eventually I'll just, before it, I guess, deteriorates too much, I'll probably have to sell it before it, but I really don't want to, because I just feel like I want to do it, and if, so my pops can ride with me, So anyway, thank you for taking the time, and man, I hope to hear from you guys. Thanks.